So I swung by the shop today to do a little review of a series of toys that I've been obsessed with and collecting lately. I'm obsessed with these oversized Mexican blow mold bootleg He-Man / Masters of the Universe. And there's a bunch of variations on these. I have a selection of some of my collection here today. I'm gonna point out some things I love about them. I'm gonna point out some things I don't love about them. Basically gonna talk about why I'm so geeked about these things in life. Of course, I love He-Man. It was the first toy line I was ever obsessed with when I was a kid, way before Marvel, way before anything else. I think I went straight from stuff like Legos and like little castle sets right into Masters of the Universe. I think the fantasy vibe, swords, axes, cool vehicles, fighting monsters. I love all the bad guys, of course. He-Man and the whole aesthetic of Masters of the Universe always appealed to me. Now, when I got back into collecting toys again in my early 20s, I started off with He-Man. And that was one thing I was really hot at. And that was one line of toys I was finding a lot of. I was finding carded He-Man, carded Skeletors, battle action He-Man, He-Man and Battle Cat in the Box. I was finding all those old vintage 80s He-Man sealed. And so I went hard on that collection in my early 20s when I got back into toy collecting. And at one point I was, I had most of them. I didn't have a lot of those rare later seasons just because I didn't have those when I was a kid and I didn't really care. But I could tell you I had every single one from the first, few years, and all the toys I had or ever wanted, I had dead stock at one point with all their weapons. When I opened the shop, one of these bad boys came in. Now, it was an earlier version than this. You can always tell because they're a little smaller. So the more versions they make, the bigger and thicker and sort of like dumber and more like dumbed down He-Man starts looking. I believe that these ones that I'm showing you today are newer, relatively, compared to the one that I had in the shop. I do believe at one point in time they made sort of a larger He-Man that was like a European release that he didn't really move much and he was kind of ceramic. I'm not sure if he went on like a phone or a bank. It was like a store display for toothbrushes or something, but there was a larger scale He-Man that was sort of equivalent to a Marvel 10-inch or 12-inch figure that someone broke. And of course in Europe and Mexico and other places they made bootlegs of them. I believe that's what I found in the shop that first time was a bootleg of the original vintage piece. I started finding them out in the wild, and obviously this is the mold of my mold, and these are the ones that have been coming up in the last 5 or 10 years in like the Mexican bootleg scene. And this is the OG colorway with his flesh and his silver armor, his silver panties, his silver go-go boots, full-blown gay Conan the Barbarian reference going on here, and this is the OG, and rightfully so. I started seeing different versions of them over the last few years. I found another one that's blue that reminds me of Faker. Now, all you He-Man fans, Masters of the Universe fans, Faker was a blue version of He-Man with orange hair, who Skeletor sort of concocted, or what Bizarro is to Superman, Faker is to He-Man, right? And in this particular version of Faker, the artist, the creator, the manufacturer has chosen to draw in the muscles with lines. Now, I will say, when I found the original OG one, someone had drawn in the muscles with like highlighted lines on this one too. So I thought this one was pretty badass. Then I found a Prince Adam version, which we all know and love from the commercial. Prince Adam, the big softy, the Clark Kent to He-Man, to make another Superman analogy. This one's cool. His hair's a little bit brighter yellow and fairer than the other ones. Of course, we all know his skin isn't as tan as He-Man. He's always known as sort of the wimp, and I believe they gave him a wimpy, sort of effeminate costume with his classic velvet vest, his pink tights with, of course, the boots with the fur. That's one of He-Man's trademarks, the boots with the fur. Now, you can see he's got a little bit of a Prince Adam brighter purple going on. Not the same purple as this Faker Skeletor one. So we got Prince Adam, Faker, OG, I got my second OG that I'm gonna customize. I came up on a black one at one point, and everyone knows, number one, black and red are my favorite colors and my favorite color combo, as seen in this particular situation here. Not only that, but come on, this is like Black Satan Demon He-Man. You can see I found a bunch of different variations of those hollow blow mold ones. Then I started finding full-blown painted ones. Now, I believe these to be resin sculpted, and then somebody, is doing a hard sort of vinyl plastic mold of a resin sculpt with these ones. He came with, for whatever reason, a yellow shield and this really cool upscaled version of the He-Man sword. Why do I want these toys at all? Why did I fantasize about owning all these toys? Because when I was a kid, I would have killed someone for a full-size He-Man like this. Like, this would have ruled my life. I love overscaled things. I love big toys. I love 12-inch to 20-inch. I'm obsessed with the giant-sized Marvel toys. I'm obsessed with giant-sized Mega Mutants turtles. So the big turtles, the big Marvels, I love them. I'm pretty stoked that I was able to find some He-Man in this scale. Now this one is the Jackpot Mother Load. This is my coolest one. This is my favorite one. I love how they just like freestyled with the baby blue armor. This one is very like giving like animated series like satisfaction. This one is very satisfying as a He-Man fan to own. This is probably my prized possession of my bootleg He-Man collection for obvious reasons. He's the king of my castle. Promise I'm straight. Now, bonus, I went to a toy show recently and I found a Skeletor version and another one that you'll never believe. I had to rubber band his staff on because he always drops it, but I found a fucking Skeletor version of the big hard plastic ones. So now I have these two as like the crown jewels of my collection. You know, sort of the king, the white king versus the black king in chess. The way my collection works, I have all the good guys together and I have all the bad guys together. So he's like king piece with my bad guys. He's like king piece middle with all my good guys. I mean, come on, Skeletor, this crazy blue that's not really quite the right blue. Really, Skeletor should be more like this blue. The purple's pretty on point. The staff is a great upscale. You can actually look through the staff and sort of have like fisheye lens when you look through it. So that's pretty cool that they did that. They got the hood right. Skeletor's face, much like He-Man, they're a little bit like short and wide and sort of Neanderthal-ish, but I don't mind it. I think it's pretty badass. I think this is this artist's like own sculpt. I think this is a completely different sculpt than these ones for sure. But I mean, I want them all. I love that the armor is just like molded and stays on. I love that they got the colors right. I do have Skeletor's sword also. I promise I'll dig up the weapons for you guys. Don't freak out. If anybody has extra weapons for these guys, I will buy them because I want to make more. But for now, you know, this could be cooler than the He-Man one, I think for sure. I mean, we all like Skeletor and Cobra Commander better than He-Man and freaking Duke, right? All right. I just found this one like a month ago. Freaking Orko, bro. Orko, bro. This thing, his head moves, the turtleneck is on. This one, they got the colors like right on point. Like full blown, like the cartoon. Whoever designed Orko, bootleg chef's kisses to you, whoever designed the Orko. I would love to get a Battle Cat in this scale to go with these three. So him, of course I'll fix his sword, we'll have him. Another fly, are you serious, dog? Like, oh. Orko is my latest pickup, but I'm not stopping now. I want all of them. I'm starting to see a bunch of crazy versions in the background on some of these other toy hunter dudes who have gone to Mexico City. So I am officially on the hunt for these oversized He-Mans and oversized anybody. I know there's Beastmans out there. I know there's Big Man at Arms. I know there's a bunch more versions of He-Man where he's all silver. all white. I've seen them in the background on y'all's videos. And anyone wants to go on a Mexico City toy hunt, I'm down because I'm after these big boys right here. Okay, so that's it for today. Catch me next time with another rendition of Toy Talk, where I'm gonna pull out another piece from my collection, analyze it, tell you why I love it, tell you what I need to finish my collection, all that good stuff. But don't forget that you have to like and subscribe for me to be able to keep buying all these toys. But hey, isn't that the cycle of life when it comes to collecting and toys? Help me out.